Whenever y'all ready, questions for Matt?
Matt, obviously going back to your hometown and a couple Memphians on that Memphis roster, how many of them are you familiar with, or what's your experiences with them?
I'm familiar with all of them, just growing up in the city, just playing against each other throughout the years. But, like friends off the court, but, when you get in between those lines, everybody's competing.
What do you remember about that game here last year and just kind of what this game means to you personally?
It was a dogfight, of course. That was probably much my first breakout game of the year last year. And, we know we're going to come in, they're going to come in this year ready to get that revenge, so we just got to make sure we're ready to play.
Have you ever played in the Forum at high school or anything?
I played once in high school.
What's that atmosphere like, getting to play in a building like that?
It's crazy. It's hard to explain until you're just there playing in it.
Oh, how do you feel kind of the team grew over those 3 games in Orlando?
I feel like we wanted to go 3-0, but we was fortunate enough to go 2-1. I feel like we grew as a team. We know what our strengths are. We know what we need to work on. And I feel like we got closer. Murrell had his breakout tournament. Jamin played well. Everybody just played well. And I'm just proud of the whole team.
Speaking of Amari, just watching what he did 3 consecutive games down there, I mean, how proud are you to see just his growth ever since kind of coming here?
I'm very happy for him, just seeing how he's been coming along throughout the year. With Deshaun being out, the extended amount of time, he's really stepped up.
When Ruffin does get back into the lineup, just how well do you feel like the depth now is in that position, having TJ and Marty have to kind of play big roles these first 7 games?
I feel like it would be even better, Ruff playing, them two had to step up since he's been out, so they have experience playing that position. And, when Ruff comes back, we'll have even more depth and we'll be able to play even stronger at that position.
How many friends and family are you expecting there tomorrow?
Whew. I can't even count. Just about.
Will this one tomorrow night mean a little bit more to you than even maybe last year's game, just because it's back home?
Oh, yeah. Playing back in Memphis, it's been a minute. Stopped being able to play in Memphis. I have a bunch of friends and family coming out. So, and I'm just going to play my game. Let it come to me, and hopefully we're going to try to get this win.
Any kind of butterflies you'll have to kind of push down in that regard?
I mean, there's butterflies in every game play, whether it's home or away. But once the ball tipped, it's all go away.
How have you seen Jamin? He talked to us that he kind of changed everything in the offseason with his diet and everything to his body. How have you seen his game kind of excel after that?
Man, Jamin has been phenomenal, in my opinion. He's been on the boards, defending, shooting, finishing, just all of the above. I'm really proud of him.
How satisfied of what you've done through 7 games so far in your 3rd year?
I've always think there's room for improvement, but it's a long season, and just got to keep pushing, keep working, keep putting your head down. The results are gonna come.
I think you're in the stretch where it's going to be 2 games within like a 14-day period and all that, with only just 2 games in there. I mean, have you had some of those weeks in the past in your career, and if so, what did you kind of learn about your team? With just so much time in between, because usually basketball it's like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, I had a couple stretches like this throughout college. Those are the times where it's more practice. You got to make sure you're locked in, because you don't have those games in between. So you got to make sure you keep your body healthy and get ready for each game.
And obviously with finals week around the corner and this week leading up to finals, as a student athlete, how tough has it been to kind of prepare for that while also having basketball go on the side?
Having the 2 games in between the week definitely helped. Prioritize school. Make sure you knock it out all early, so at the end of the day you don't have to worry about it at the end of the week.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Matt.